You guys are going to be really glad you tuned in today. I'm telling you right now, we have a great show. I'm Mike Rust. I own Rust & Martin in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I also have a custom cabinetry shop that's down on Main Street. This show today, you get to see a kitchen remodel that's going to be very cool. And I'll tell you what's even cooler about it. I'm in my own stomping ground. This is where I grew up, right here in Cape Girardeau on this street. And I get to work with some neighbors of mine. Used to be neighbors of mine, but they are fabulous people. They got so much energy. They love their home. Their home is one of the most unique homes that I think there is in Cape Girardeau. It's totally them. That's what I love about it. Lots of color, lots of energy. Man, it's a great place to come. But what's not so great about it? Well, take a look at this. This is their kitchen right now. What is it, 1978 European modern? Yeah, it's got the laminate fronts and it's got the maple bottoms to it. And I'm sure in 1978 it was a very cool kitchen. But guess what? That kitchen's got to go now. They agree it's got to go. We're going to sit there. We've come up with a great plan, as we always do. Of course, we do all the drawings, get all the plans put together, CAD it up, and now we're getting ready to do the remodel. So you get to watch us take this kitchen from 1978 and bring it as an update to this year, 2011. And guess what? It's summertime. Can you hear the locusts? Crazy place to live in Cape Girardeau. I have a pre-construction meeting that I'm getting ready to do, and guess what? We're going to start this job next week. So come and watch this happen. We started this project on Monday, and it is now Thursday, and so we've got 4 days working in this project. One is half of it's the Essner brothers who do a lot of our work, and they just work fast and efficiently, and they're very clean. They get on a job and work it very well. We have Jason Brown here who does our tile layout and our wood floors. He's working here today too, and he's laying floor today. So let me show you what's happened since Monday. Monday, men came in, ripped out all of the kitchen, ripped out all the wood flooring in this area, took everything out, and by day 2 started setting cabinets. And this is where we are at this point on day 4, I guess. This is the morning of day 4. Cabinets are pretty much all set. The appliances are all in except for the dishwasher. We have actually the countertop guys that are coming in today, actually in a few minutes, to measure for all the countertops for the granite that's going to go on here and the soapstone that's going to go on the island. So that'll be measured. That'll probably be delivered late next week. Jason's going to finish the floor, put the tile backsplash up, and guess what? We think in about 2 weeks we're going to have this kitchen done. Now, that's a bit unusual because most of the time when we do kitchen remodels and installs, we have new walls that we're putting in or taking old walls out to update the actual shape of the kitchen. This kitchen actually was set very nicely. We had to run some gas lines and things like that, but really it's pretty much the same layout that it was before we ripped out. So that made this install a really simple, efficient install that we usually don't have. Love this point where we get to see all the raw materials. Of course, we have our Viking oven and our warming drawer. I think are just beautiful. This is the professional series. It has that big bar across the front, and it's just gorgeous blue interior. What a nice update. And of course, the functional part that we always do, and we're doing a little electrical up there right now. The LED lights are going in. We do all these dividers so you can slide in your cookie sheets and they're adjustable and run those across, but that's just a nice piece. Oh, and one thing that always happens at Ashley Bailey Custom Cabinets with this line of cabinetry is soft close doors and soft close drawers. So your kids and all can't slam them and make it sound loud. Cooktop, Viking cooktop. You know, we carry Wolf and I carry Viking. And I can kind of argue both ways which one I like better or not. I've had Viking for 25 years personally. I prefer it. It just cooks better, has lower heat. Of course, it has a great profile to it, so I've always been that guy that says, you know what, if there's going to be an argument about appliances, there's no argument, we're putting Viking in. At least at the range top. Of course, we got to get a Viking hood, and this is the first time that Jimmy said, you know, we have to put a 10-inch pipe that goes all the way outside with a motor up there. We had a straight run. Usually you have to jig-jag around a truss or there's something you've got to cut out, but this was a pretty nice install. This is going to be a nice area, and we still don't know what we're going to do here. The customer wanted to wait and look at the kitchen and make a decision on what color this was going to be and how we actually going to clad it. So this is the only thing that's not going to be finished by this time next week. We have a wonderful tile that's going to go in here, and frankly, this is where the entire kitchen started as far as color. These are tiles that were originally in the house She had them on this backsplash. We took off an awful lot, but she had, I think, 47 of these downstairs, and they love this blue. It's a unifying factor through this house, and that's where we started. And in a minute, you'll see where the blue gets pulled into the kitchen outside with the tile. It's going to be on our island. So that was a starting point, and we're going to end up putting this back again and doing a neat backsplash with a rope trim around it, and then the rest of this gets these great looking little subway tiles to finish off that and kind of contemporize it up, update it, but definitely step back and reflect the past. So that was a fun addition. Cabinetry went up great. We have crown molding and friezes still to go, so you'll see that change in there. This is what makes our cabinetry wonderful. If you look at this corner right here, this dimension and this dimension are exactly the same. So you get this perfect profile. And if you're at home, look at your own cabinetry right now. I'm going to bet you that you have a 3 or 4 inch filler space right here, maybe a 2 inch that way, which in our eye makes everything a little bit off balance. So when we do this, we have this perfect profile. Of course, that's doing a CAD design and allows us to make it exactly right. And then, of course, you have to have the right installers to understand that, to put it together. But that's what makes custom cabinetry. And you can see that line here, you can see that line here. So this door and this door are exactly in the same position apart from each other. We pretty much designed down to the last 1/8 inch. That's our tolerance level. We look at the 1/8 inch increments and say, okay, what makes it exactly that way? So, nice inset doors, drawers and doors. We got spice drawers, knife drawers all over, and I'm going to go through that when we get finished. Of course, soft close on that. One nice update that she has now that she did not have before is a much bigger sink base, and we have a triple bowl sink. I love triple bowl sinks. I've never really understood how you have 2 sinks. You have one with soapy water in it to clean. You have one that you want to dump things in, and it just seems like it doesn't go together. What I want to do is have a 3rd sink that I can dump all the junk in, and then I can wash in one, rinse in one, and set it out. So this 3rd sink is a small one. We put the garbage disposal in there, so you can constantly use that to get rid of, you know, the vegetables and stuff like that while you're working. The only real snafu, and it's a very minor snafu, and we kind of discussed it, we didn't know what was underneath this wood floor before we ripped it up. So when it came up, and we're putting another wood floor down that's going to be glued down, we ripped that floor up and we found out that on the floor down here was this nasty old tar paper. Pretty typical when you put down a wood floor. It's a sound dampening aspect of it. Most of the time it peels right up, but this has been down for 30, 35 years. And it's not coming up. So we had to end up doing a 1/4 inch sheeting. We knew that immediately, so we raised all the cabinets up 3/4 inches to accommodate the 1/2 inch wood and the 1/4 inch plywood. That's why you see it raised off the floor so everything can fit underneath it. Anyway, cabinet's going to look great. We got glass fronts in here. We're having a debate whether we're going to light them or not. I think that we should, but we'll find out what the customer says. Beautiful glass. Hope you can see that. It's got a ribbed glass that's on the inside of it. Her original Sub-Zero refrigerator, believe it or not, I think it's about 10, 12 years old. Still works well. There was no reason really to replace it. We're respraying all the panels to match all of this wonderful lacquer work, so that's going to look beautiful. Whole new system for them. This is kind of a drink center. We have an ice maker going in here. There's a sink going in here. And behind these doors is the microwave. And what I love about it is, you see the depth on this is 24 inches. The depth on this is a little over 12, 13 inches. Now, how do you get a microwave in there? Well, what you do is you carve this wall away on the inside, which allows for that additional 4 inches that we needed to put the microwave in. So it lets us have this countertop with a beautiful profile, but the function of sticking the microwave in here back into that wall made that cabinet kind of interesting with the depth. So kind of fun. Now I want to show you the best piece in the entire house before we set it, and that's the island.